Hey everybody, what's going on? I'm Jamie Dawn, your evolutionary revolutionary astrologer, bringing you an update because we have a full moon in Virgo Pisces on Saturday, the 24th of February. And so I wanted to bring that to you. I didn't go into a lot of depth in my celestial wisdom video around it. So wanted just to put some pins on the map for you and hopefully give you some more support. The week itself, I've heard some reports already that people's nervous system is a little bit ramped up, not sleeping, not feeling awesome, or anxious. The anxiety is kicking in. Please just come back to being grounded, stay in the body. You're not alone. It is the energy waves. And so remember that if everything was perfectly fine, it basically would keep us from doing our practices. That's why we have them. That's why we have our tools, right? So getting into that place of being grounded, or if you're feeling a little disconnected, I hear that too. That it's a good time after you ground to really open yourself up to universal energies and wisdom, and just let that third eye really stay open and alive, and trust the information that you get in the body, because your body is going to talk to you. I think this is also part of the reason we're feeling a little anxious, ramped up, worried, that sort of thing, because of this full moon energy that we're going to be experiencing leading up to Saturday. So most times when we have a full moon, we don't always feel the effects on the day. It's usually leading up to it. So the energy builds and builds and builds, so that by the time the full moon actually happens, it feels like an exhale or a release. And that's what full moons are, is it's a releasing. It's also a place where we get to create some spaciousness, or things also become revealed in the light of the moon. So you think about this, though, the moon works at night, right? Well, at full moons, it brings out that shadow side so that we can cast a light on it. And with this Virgo full moon standing across the sky from the sun in Pisces, it's really about deep, deep healing. And more than just healing, because healing's always a journey, it's also about finding great compassion for that shadow side, for when we mess up, just to forgive ourselves. There's a wonderful forgiveness practice that I do. And it usually happens many times a day, as I have to ask my own self to forgive myself. So we're going to be feeling this energy. And also, there are going to be things that we can't make happen. We can't force it, or things are forced upon us that we had no control over. And so we're going to have to really pay attention to that. Virgo likes to have the details. It likes to have that sense of control. And yet Pisces is all about dissolving. It's that unity into saying, I have no control. I can be free. So we're going to have this kind of push and pull between wanting all the details and then also wanting to escape if it gets too intense, and just saying, forget it. I don't want any rules. I don't want any, I don't want to live in any constraints, right? So we often look at Virgo as the sign of perfectionism. If you're a heavily aspected Virgo, then you like those details and you want everything to be just so, and you're looking for that sense of perfection. And we can get critical, right? And remember, we have all of the signs in our charts, so we just might not have planets in those signs. So we may not feel it as intensely as others. But we all can get critical on ourselves. And so we're probably going to be forced into situations this week to look at places that we're trying to escape from in that Piscean energy that we don't want to deal with, but we have to, because it's right in front of us. So again, it's that push and pull of like, I know I need to do this, but I just don't feel like it, or I don't want to, because it could bring shame, or it could bring guilt, or it could bring whatever that critical mind is trying to sabotage me with. But if we can sit with that, and we can say, okay, I can sit with this idea that I might be a failure at something, or I might not have made the right decision here, or whatnot. Then we shine a light on it. We accept it. We bring in that compassion and that wisdom, and say, okay, now I can work with it. What resources do I have? What tools do I have? What people do I feel I can get support from? Now, the other thing that we want to look at when we're looking at this full moon is another theme, if you will, is that Virgo likes to act, whereas Pisces tends to, and remember, this is generalized, but Pisces tends to surrender to the unknown and just allows and is open to receive, right? And Virgo says, let's get things done. Let's do it this way and this, with some direction, some purpose, some guidance. Here's the rules, if you will, the deadlines that we're going to set. And Pisces is like, well, these are all pretty. Let me paint you a picture. Let me tell you a story. Here, come sit with me for a while and let's just forget about that. So there could be some feelings of procrastination that show up here, and then we're being forced to meet those deadlines, right? The other thing I want to point out with Pisces energy that I feel is so, so important and precious is it's a very psychic energy because it has access to all possibilities, right? Because it's dissolved with Neptune being its ruler, Jupiter, the traditional ruler. And so it dissolves these boundaries and it doesn't have all these details. So it accesses all this fertile creative energy. And then Virgo can take all this creativity, all these possibilities, and it can put it into something useful and tangible. So that's something that we want to work with during this full moon time, is that as we lead up into the full moon, where are the places that we could access that maybe we haven't been able to yet? Meditation's a beautiful way of doing that. Getting out in nature, giving yourself boredom time even is a really good way to be able to offer some access to that psychic energy or that infinite possibility energy, and then bringing it back in and saying, okay, what are the resources I need to get it done? Who could help me with this? And, things like that. So I won't make this too long-winded. I just want to give you guys some pins on the map as we lead into the week and as we continue into the week up until this full moon. Also, one other little pin on the map, I did mention this in my celestial wisdom, but just a reminder that now Venus and Mars are both in the sign of Aquarius. They've kissed each other, if you will, on Friday. And so it sets up a new 2-year cycle in our relational field. So our relationship with others, our relationship with money, our relationship with food, how we get things done, what motivates us, all that sort of thing. We're going to find innovative ways in order, because it's in the sign of Aquarius, innovative ways to break free of the constraints that we may have felt. So use this week with this full moon energy to find resources, tools, all of that, like I've said, to break free of old patterns that may have felt like they've held you back. So say what you need to say in a relationship, do some things differently that you needed to do in order to shake it up a little bit, keep it fresh, keep it fun, and you'll find that things will start to align. All right, you guys, I hope this helps. Please like, subscribe, share, comment. Come find me at jamiedawn.com. When to listen. Remember, I have my radio shows on Mondays at 11 a.m. And this next radio show is going to be live with a very special guest that I will be visiting. So tune in. And my next Celestial Wisdom video will most likely be recorded with this guest as well. So fun times ahead. Stay tuned. All right, you guys, take care.